Do you need an efficient auxiliary heater to quickly warm a room without blowing up your energy bill? Whether to complete your main heating, make a room more comfortable, or just avoid being cold in the morning, I tested several models to find those that heat really well, consume reasonably, and remain simple to use daily. In the third, I picked the Drio Space Heater because I wanted to see if a compact budget heater under $50 could actually deliver enough heat to make a real difference in a small room. And the first thing that struck me when I plugged it in was how fast it pushed out warm air, since the 1,500-watt power kicks in almost instantly, which makes the room temperature rise quicker than I expected for such a small unit. And what I also appreciated was the way it stays surprisingly quiet, even at higher modes, because the brushless DC motor smooths out the airflow, so I could use it while working without feeling distracted. And the 70-degree oscillation did help spread the heat more evenly, instead of directing it only to one spot, which is something a lot of cheap heaters fail to do. And I also liked the digital thermostat that lets you adjust the temperature from 41 to 95 degrees with 1 degree precision, which actually makes the room feel much more controlled, especially during colder nights when you want consistent comfort. And I enjoyed the fact that it includes different modes, including Eco, which automatically adjusts the output, so the heater does not overconsume electricity, which is always nice if you plan to use it daily. And the remote control made things even more convenient, since I could adjust everything without getting up. Now the drawbacks start to appear when you use it for several days, because while the heater works well, the plastic body does not feel very premium, and gives the impression that a strong fall would probably break it. And I noticed that the auto shut-off feature sometimes behaves inconsistently, because a couple of times it turned off a bit too early, which some customers also reported. So that is something to keep in mind. And this model is definitely powerful for small rooms, but will struggle if you try to heat larger areas or open spaces, which means it is not the kind of heater that can replace a full-sized unit. And after using it long enough, I also noticed the filter needs cleaning more often than expected. Otherwise, the airflow becomes weaker. My conclusion after testing it is that this Drio heater delivers more performance than its price suggests, with fast heating, a quiet motor, solid safety features, and excellent temperature control, which makes it a great pick for bedrooms, offices, or small living areas. Although the lightweight construction and the occasional shut-off behavior remind you that it remains a budget option, so if you keep your expectations aligned with its size, you will probably be as satisfied as I was during my tests. Secondly, I tested the Poloni's oscillating ceramic tower heater because I wanted to see if a slightly larger and more premium-looking model could actually make a noticeable difference in heating performance compared to the smaller units I usually try. And the first thing that impressed me was how quickly it pushed warm air, since it only takes a few seconds to feel the temperature rise, thanks to the ceramic heating element, which delivers a steady, comfortable heat, rather than a burst that fades away. And the 23-inch height, combined with the 75-degree oscillation, really helped spread warmth across a wider space, which made the room feel uniformly heated, instead of having one hot corner and one cold corner. And what I really appreciated was the digital thermostat, because it lets you adjust the temperature with 1 degree precision up to 95 degrees, which allowed me to maintain exactly the feeling I wanted without constantly turning the unit on and off. And the Eco mode genuinely helped regulate energy consumption while still keeping a stable level of warmth, which is a big plus if you want a heater that works for long hours without exploding your electricity bill. And the remote control made everything easier, because I could adjust the timer mode or temperature from anywhere in the room without having to walk to the unit every time. And I also noticed how quiet it stayed, even on higher settings, since the noise stays under 55 decibels, which allowed me to use it during work sessions or late at night without any disturbance at all. Now, when it comes to drawbacks, the first thing I noticed is that even if the heater works very well in medium to large bedrooms, it starts to lose efficiency in very big open spaces. Despite what some descriptions imply, because it simply does not have the power to heat a huge living room on its own. And the second thing is that the body feels taller and lighter than expected, which means that while it is stable, the tower design could be a little easy to knock over if you have pets or children running around. And I also felt that the display brightness stays a bit strong in a dark bedroom, which can bother some people if they are sensitive to light when they sleep. And one more detail is that the heat output feels slightly less intense compared to some high-end ceramic heaters, which is logical for this price range, but still worth mentioning. My conclusion, after several days of use, is that the Poloni's heater feels reliable, practical, and very comfortable to use with fast heating, quiet performance, precise temperature control, and very good room coverage, which makes it an excellent mid-range pick, especially if you want something efficient for bedrooms and home offices. Although its tall, lightweight body and the slight drop in performance in very large rooms remind you that it remains a heater designed for personal spaces rather than giant living areas. So as long as your expectations match the intended size, it delivers a very satisfying experience. And to finish, first of all, I decided to test the Lasko Oscillating Digital Ceramic Tower Heater because it has a massive amount of reviews, and I wanted to see if it actually deserved its reputation, or if it was just hype. And the moment I plugged it in, I immediately understood why so many people like it, since the heat output is instant and noticeably stronger than some other models in the same price range. And the warm airflow spreads quickly, thanks to the wide oscillation which makes the whole room heat up in a steady, even way, instead of creating hot and cold spots. And what I really enjoyed was how simple the digital controls are, since you can adjust the thermostat and set the timer without thinking about it, and the remote control makes everything even easier, especially when you are already settled in bed or on the couch. And I appreciated the fact that the heater has built-in storage for the remote, because that small detail prevents you from losing it every 2 days, which is something that actually happens with many heaters I tested. And one thing that genuinely impressed me was how the exterior stays cool to the touch, even after long sessions, which adds a layer of safety that I found reassuring, especially for people with pets or kids. And the heater comes fully assembled, which means you literally take it out of the box, plug it in, adjust the thermostat, and you are done in less than a minute, which is extremely convenient. And the lightweight design combined with the carry handle made it very easy to move it around from room to room whenever I needed heat in different parts of the house. Now, in terms of drawbacks, the first limitation I noticed is that the heater only offers 2 heat settings, which is less flexible than models with 4 or 5 modes. So you either have low heat or high heat, and nothing in between, which can make fine-tuning the temperature a bit less precise, depending on the size of your room. And while the oscillation does help distribute warmth evenly, the heater does not have an eco mode, which means it cannot automatically adjust power usage to maintain a stable temperature in an energy-efficient way, so you might end up using slightly more electricity over long periods compared to other models that offer that feature. And another thing that stood out is that the design, while functional, feels a bit basic compared to newer, more modern-looking heaters. Even though this does not affect performance, it is still something you notice when comparing products side by side. And finally, because the heater is very lightweight, it can feel a bit less stable than heavier tower models, although the base still holds well during normal use. My conclusion, after thoroughly testing this Lasko heater, is that it delivers strong, reliable heating with instant warmth, even distribution quiet operation, and extremely user-friendly controls, which makes it a top choice for anyone looking for a simple, effective heater that works without overcomplicating things. And despite its lack of multiple modes and the absence of an eco function, it remains one of the most consistent performers I tried, and shows why it is one of the most trusted heaters on the market today. So if you want something straightforward, powerful, and dependable, this model stands easily in first place. To conclude this top 3, each of these auxiliary heaters provides a real solution depending on the room, budget, and use one is looking for. And after testing them, I can say that they all fulfill their role in their own way. Then it only remains to choose the one that best suits your daily life to enjoy a warm winter. If you are interested in the product, the link is in the description. But above all, subscribe to not miss the next videos. See you soon.